Yo guys, welcome. Back at it again here with another video. Another 22 million team on the World Boss. Relatively budget, trying to keep it as budget as I can. No legendaries that you wouldn't have. Everyone gets Erich. So this team got 23 million, and the levels are relatively low, level 95s and a 98. You could get more damage with higher levels if you have a worse psyche core or artifacts or whatever, or worse gear. So there's a bit of breathing room here still to work with. And this team is using, one legendary artifact only, Witch's Remains. It's going to be pretty hard to get it without that. I guess with Crown, like I said, you'd have to upgrade the levels, upgrade the gear a little bit, maybe the psyche core some more. My psyche core is everything except the very last ring is maxed out, so keep that in mind. And here's the timings. Full default, this team does best on auto. We're reducing the turn meter on the boss a lot, so timings don't really matter that much. We just want to ult as often as we can. If you really wanted to, you could set Zarloth to go right before your other two. And I think for me, this already kind of lined up because of the skill haste he has. But you could set Zarloth to just go right before the other two. Maybe give him a couple seconds to apply the Witch's Remains, because his ult does not pause time like some other characters do. And then have them, Neda. Actually, Neda I would leave on auto. Neda, she has a 16-second ultimate, so we just want to let her go as often as she can. And then Erich in this team, part of the reason I didn't actually time him is because he's unscrolled. So, you guys can save some scrolls. As you can see, he's unscrolled. Also, Horus was also unscrolled on this team. Only Neda, a rare, Zarloth, one of the best epics, in the game, and Adolphus, also one of the best epics in the game, were scrolled. And, if you guys have these, you probably have them scrolled because you're using them in a lot of areas of the game since they're so powerful. So yeah, this team was able to do it with no timings. But as I said, if you had more scrolls, if you had a reason to, you would want to set everyone to go after the Witch's Remains is applied. And there's another team. I'm going to switch to game now, to in-game. This is another team where, hold on, let me make sure my scene is, okay, there we go. Where everyone is avoiding damage except the tank. So he's in the front here, getting hit, and everyone else is in the back row. And Horus is getting turn boosted so that he has his ultimate active a lot of the time, giving him damage reduction and hit recovery. And that's what Adolphus is doing. Also, his shield from his passive is acting as a shield so that Adolphus can heal him, because Adolphus heals targets when he puts a shield on top of them when they already have a shield on them. So whenever he shields on top of Horus's shield, he's healing based on that. So that's why we don't have anyone in here who's doing, like a healing. So actually, that's the wrong team. Hold on, let me show you guys. I'm gonna showcase both. So we were looking at the Zarloth team at first. So this is the Zarloth team. This team gets 22 million, and then we have another variation, which is a little more expensive, that also gets 22 million, using no Zarloth. And the reason why is because Zarloth is, as I'll show later in another video, he's a great and almost must-have to get 22 million on the Necrotic boss. So if you want to save him for that, then this is another setup, which is relatively budget, using Bronwyn instead. So we added another damage dealer in. We had to level them all up to 100. I think, I improved the gear maybe a little bit. I had to fully scroll Horus and Erich, but this team was also able to get 22. It was just, a bit more of an investment. So let me go through the gear real quick. I guess I'll go through it on this team since, actually no, this team. That's a sneak peek of the Necrotic team. But this team. So basically, another tank set on Horus. Like I said, Scarab as a safety net. And it's also amazing with Adolphus because this shield from this artifact, when he gets low, this is again going to act as a shield so that Adolphus can heal him back. And then Adolphus, we're using Enlightenment as much as we can get. On a healing set with the Tiara, looking for basically enlightenment on the runes. Some skill haste can be nice, and then if you want to, you can get some damage. So maybe some attack could be nice mixed in there, because no one in the back row here is taking any damage, so getting the more damage is better. We got Witch's Remains on Zarloth, and the Cyril set. He's actually doing a lot of work here because this battle skill is a debuff, and with the ultimate applying Witch's Remains, that is another debuff. So you have basically 100% uptime on this Cyril set attack buff. And we're going to build him with, again, attack, crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy. Now, for the gloves and the body armor, I went attack percentage for both. His healing is based on his attack. So going more attack is better than going crit rate because it will increase his healing and help keep your tank alive. And so for the runes, again, we somehow got enough accuracy on the main gear with the artifact. We were able to go a negative attack rune and also a positive attack rune. So stacking attack on him. And then Erich, we have with Manticore. This boss summons minions, and for some reason it seems like the minions, the damage to them counts towards the total score. So because Erich has this AoE battle skill that gains a damage bonus, it gains a damage bonus if only one enemy is hit. So when it's only hitting the boss, it's doing more damage, but when it's hitting all the minions, each minion taking damage individually adds up to more damage on the boss. So we're using Manticore Statue to increase that, and we have an Inventor set. So last season, everyone was using it with Gambler, but this season, if you have less than roughly 10 hits per rotation, Inventor just seems always better. So this is the new set for this season that does all the damage. So the Inventor set is doing a lot for him. And then on Netta, pretty much the same thing. Also the Inventor set, we're using the music box because we have shields up a lot of the time using Adolphus, but you can also probably use Eyeball and get similar results. I actually tested her with Eyeball and it was pretty much the same damage. So, you know, again, attack percentage, crit rate, crit damage, all damage stats as much as you can get because no one is getting hit besides the tank. And then in the other variation, let me show that, using no Zarloth, we have instead Bronwyn. Let me load the gear real quick. Also using an Inventor set. And so here, you know, like I said, I tested her with Eyeball, and now he's using the music box. These are both great artifacts for this team just because Adolphus is giving shields all the time. And then Erich has to be used on this team to apply the witches. We don't have Zarloth anymore doing it. And the one thing I had to do to make this team more effective is I had to manual Erich. And by that I mean when Erich ults, his ult gets divided among everyone he hits. So he's summoning 5 meteorites. If the boss summons a bunch of minions around him and Erich just ults on auto, he will often hit the minions and not the boss, which then means the boss doesn't get the defense penalty applied to him. So by manualing Erich and only ulting when you're only hitting the boss, you can guarantee all 5 meteors hit the boss and the defense penalty will always apply. So that's the one thing that's kind of annoying about this team. You can't just full auto it. Maybe you can if your gear is good enough, but my timings are basically, again, all default. You know, everyone ulting as often as they can. Netta, because she has a low cooldown, we have her on full auto, basically. And Bronwyn is the one that I would say, if you can, you would time him to go after Erich. And since we were already manualing Erich, we have to manual him as well. We ult with Erich on the boss, land the defense penalty, and then follow up with Bronwyn. And yeah, this team gets 22 million along with the Zarloth team, but I'll be showcasing Zarloth in our next team in the next video to get 22 million on the Necrotic boss. Very hard boss. Took a lot of testing. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video. Easy team, relatively speaking. Everyone should have Horus. Everyone should have Erich. Adolphus is kind of needed. I've tested with many other supports, but in both setups, we have him, and he's kind of irreplaceable. He's just such a carry. It's very hard to use someone weaker than him to keep your tank alive, because we're trying to get 22 million before our tank dies. This is not one of those fights where we time out. Our tank does die at some point later on when the boss has like 10, 12 stacks, and we just need to get the damage in by then. So either by using 3 DPS in this team, or by slowing the boss down with Zarloth with the recharge speed penalty, that is allowing us to get more rounds out of the team and thus more damage. So hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you guys in the next video with the Necrotic boss. So thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, and like, follow, and subscribe is what my viewers on Twitch told me I should say at the end of these videos. All right, bye-bye.